Hiya girls, we are Barney and Lukey and we are the hot young visionaries behind Truffle Pig Wigs.
And this is Cliffhangers, the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged RuPaul's Drag Race recap show.
The views and opinions expressed on Cliffhangers are from a couple of women who just love drag and have zero real business judging it. If you are not a fan of red-hot acidic critique, turn back now.
He's the reason you don't put metal in the microwave. Is Barney! I don't even know what that means.
No, I don't think you need to.
Nah.
And she won't go down in history, but she will go down on you. Is Lucrezia gorgeous?
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
I actually think the chances of you going down on anyone is quite low. Considering you have a long-term partner, but even aside from that, I don't think.
I'm just not one of the people that enjoys it. I mean, I'll do it to be polite, but I'll never be yearning for it.
There is something quite chilling.
Hi, Mum.
Hi, Mum. Hey, Soph.
New subscriber, love that.
There is something quite chilling about them people that you meet that are like, I just love sucking dick. It's like quite, I don't know, like really, I feel like it's unlocked something quite terrifying in them.
The worst thing is as well, because it's not just for the love of sucking dick, it's the power that they have over the sucky.
Could bite down at any time.
Yeah.
And you know, biting through flesh is apparently like biting through the texture of biting through a carrot.
Well, I've heard, a little finger is the same as just nibbling off a carrot.
Yeah, I wonder about dick. I suppose it's hard. That would be a lot of blood.
So much blood. Let's find out.
Makes it hard. Lukes, can I ask you a question?
Please.
If unfortunately your lips became paralysed in some freak accident and you were no longer able to speak, and you had to use the medium of dance to just tell the girls how your week's been, what song would you choose to lip sync to?
I would choose Endor. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Because last night me and Margot saw, finally, The Substance, which features heavily in it.
Sorry to Mags and to Lukey for not... I didn't realise that you were waiting for my response about this.
Multiple responses we were waiting for.
This is open. As I've just explained to Lukey, it's been quite terrifyingly busy this week, and I'm sorry. I was also working all day Saturday, which means that I just, I'm sorry.
I think you might have early onset Old-timers.
Old-timers, maybe. Just a public apology. I'm just a very busy girl, and it's not working out for me.
It's a shame.
And I missed out on a fantastic film, which said it was 10 out of 10. Go on,
10 out of 10. Yeah. The funniest thing about it was that the reason we wanted to see it in the cinema rather than an illegal stream, which is normally my choice du jour, is because everyone's like, people lose their fucking mind on the gory bits.
Which I love in a cinema when people get a bit of mob mentality.
Yeah. So I was really excited about that. But obviously, all the freaks went to the Finsbury Park Playhouse, also called Cinema Club, whatever. Yeah. Because everyone was laughing at all the gore and the guts and the nastiness. But yeah, so just the mise en scène, the cinematography, gorgeous. Demi fucking Moore. She's 61 years old. Naked as the day she was born. Fantastic.
Full bush.
Full bush.
And you see the pretty pink puss from the front.
You see a bit of a... I wouldn't call it pretty, but you see something from the behind as well at some point. I imagine she's quite a tidy
girl.
I reckon she is. Have you heard her Celebrity Memoir Book Club? They redid it recently because they did it in their early careers and now they're batting like
shout out to
her
the
whole
Celebrity
fucking
Memoir
life.
Book Club.
It's all about the body.
Which is your favourite
of the girls?
Yeah,
I think Ashley's funnier.
Really, I got to love Claire. I think she's got a very weird cynicism about her. She's got quite a dark energy that cannot be shifted.
Fine.
Yeah. But that's nice. That's nice. Like one of us loves Mary Kate, one of us is an Ashley girl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What would your lip sync to describe your week?
My lip sync would be Spooky by Dusty Springfield. Because let me tell you, the veil is thinner than ever now. Ever now.
Even more than last week?
No. But it's basically... It's just thinner than ever, you know? And at least someone is.
Thank God. The veil is on Ozempic.
Yeah. And it's just, I'm now finally winding down. I had a very unceremonious, probably my most unceremonious publicly, Halloween this year. But it still feels super, super spooky when you look at now.
How was your reunion, by the way?
It was fine. Fine.
Shit.
I mean, there are some things that are duty, Luke's. Do you know what I mean? And let's not get too far into that one.
Definitely thought it was fun. I like the beat.
But should we talk about some drugs?
Well, first of all, I've got a fact that I found from Drag Race Wiki.
Tell us.
Did you know that Kyron Thrax is drag daughter of season 3's Charity Case?
Really?
That's what the pedia is telling me.
Oh, and the pedias don't lie.
They do not lie.
They stroke, but they don't lie.
Onwards we go.
Previously on RuPaul's Drag Race UK.
The gals were booked on the Graham Norton show. Full of what? It was dazzling conversation, but for Activia and Kiki, it was babbling asphyxiation. The girls just danced to battle it out, but unfortunately, Kiki's snatch has drooped and she sashayed away, but in our hearts forever.
Yeah. The snatch ain't snatching no more.
The snatch has been snatched.
Yeah. Can I just say, when we got back into the workroom, I thought the way these bitches were all cutting eyes at my darling Chanello, I thought she can't do a damn thing right, can she? I know exactly how she feels. It's like that meme of Katie Hopkins, which like, this is what it feels like to be a Republican in this world.
Oh, what, with the target?
And someone was like, yeah.
Jodie actually reshared that today.
Really? Putting a target on your own head. Yeah. It's just nasty. It's like she can't say anything in front of these hoes.
I was just creasing at Octavia saying that she looks like Danny Beard from Wish. Which
wasn't
a million miles off.
Yeah.
If Danny Beard and maybe Gene Simmons had some kind of
and then
love
thrown in a
child.
pool.
Yeah.
I mean, the makeup was very sweaty.
And the wig was very...
Yeah.
I think Kyron is the new Chanel. She's always ready with a viper tongue. I read her comments on Chanel's dress like, if you want some critique, I tell you, they look like fucking absolute shit, to be honest.
Yeah, and also she absolutely didn't. I get there, it was a bit like, it's a bit confusing what's going on, but it's like, listen, this is the Chanel O'Connor production. Like, get into it.
It must be so nice, though, to just really go into confessionals and just slag the shit off out of these girls.
Yeah, because I imagine you'd be just sort of like really, really like kind-hearted, really soft.
Yeah,
like,
they give you a couple of shots of Baileys back there.
Yeah. Question, were they gagging because it smelled when she took that?
I think so.
Or like, just like pure BO?
I don't know if it's BO, but probably just like
sweaty dick,
honky body. I don't. That wasn't a racial slur against
wow.
Kyron. But it'd be honking. Yeah, that was pretty fucking gross. Actually,
it was like someone had released toxic waste for old releaser. Like,
yeah,
I was like, okay, girl. Like,
but maybe some people aren't just what's it called?
Predisposed. I don't know.
This when it's like stuff that comes out your body, like
pheromones.
body juices.
The pheromones.
Well, no, just stuff like poo, wee, vomit, piss, bodily fluids.
Bodily fluids, yeah.
Sure.
What would you say if you had to rate top 4, 1 to 4? Piss.
What I like the best?
Yeah, what's your favourite? Piss, sweat, blood, cum.
Piss, sweat, blood, cum. Piss first.
Yeah.
Get it out of me.
What your favourite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I need to piss when it's time.
Yeah.
Cum last.
Oh, shout out to your boyfriend.
Probably piss, blood, sweat, cum.
Sweet.
You?
I like all of them equally apart from piss.
But is that the way you want to get it out of you?
No, but it's my fave.
Oh, you
I
want to keep
feel
it
like,
on
to
you?
me, I just could never really... Speaking as someone who has been pissed on, I just can't really ever get into it. I mean, we've spoken about this many times on the pod, but again, shout out Sophie Leward. Hi, Mum. But yeah, just can't really get into it. But like all the others, fair game. Like blood I love that sort of like penny taste that it's got. You know when you have a little nosebleed, a little party nosebleed, and then it drips
Speaking of
into your
Sophie,
mouth.
she went
knows
through
about
a
party
stage.
nosebleed.
Well, not even party, just like when I was little, sometimes I'd just look at her and be like, your nose is bleeding.
Do you think you did that?
I hope so.
Yeah.
PTSD, womb trauma.
Yeah, but sweat, cum, blood, why not? Fun.
All the specials, all the great ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so there's a brand new work in the week crew.
Yes. Question.
Go.
Chara.
Yeah.
By the skin of my bubblegum. Question. Is she aware that people call dogs bumholes their bubblegum? And that's why
First of
she's
all,
saying it.
I've never heard that, but I think she's referring to her bubblegum outfit from the week with the headpieces.
Sure. I know 2 phrases that people use. I know, and I actually think it might be an Irish phrase because my dad says it, like tail up showing their bubblegum, which is like the pink butthole on a dog or
Sure.
a cat. But I also know that people also talk about bubblegum as balls because it's all wrinkly. I've heard
Weird.
people refer to, being like, oh, you can see it's bubblegum.
I'm in the balloon knot side of town.
Oh, me too. Do you remember when that boy whispered that into my ear? Where were we? On bingo tour.
What did he say?
Said something. He said,
I want to
he said something,
your
I
balloon
can't
knot.
remember. I think we were like in Bristol or something. He was like,
Oh, classic Bristol.
really heavy-handed and really quite drunk. And then in my
Oh,
ear
the
said
one in the boat on Thekla on the
That's a
sofa.
different one. Before we start. And he said something about my bumhole and referred to it as a balloon knot. I was like,
But
that
are
feels
you
a bit
gonna
too crafty to be getting the
pull
juices
at it with
going.
your teeth?
Yeah, it feels a bit crafty to be getting the juices going.
So, reading challenge. Did you have a favourite read?
I did not, because I thought they were. Oh, actually, there was one that Mama said that I thought was quite funny, but I thought this was a weak old read.
I'd say I'd give it like a B. My favourite was Lil when she said, "What's the difference between Octavia's wigs and Kyron?" I don't know, but they're both absolutely dying for attention.
Fine, funny.
Releases were a very abstract entity. It's like she was doing improv, just like taking random words from the audience, like Oompa Loompa,
Like she had
Titanic,
different
Shochu.
hats that she had to pull out with words on. Yeah. She is not a girl for the comedy, is she?
It's funny though,
Or
because it seemed like
improv.
she kind of was in the Hate Actually, all of that one when she did that mad character, and everyone's like, "Oh, never thought she'd do that. How
I
quirky."
never found that remotely funny at all, personally.
I mean, no, it wasn't my bag, but
So we can both agree that neither of us found it funny.
no, but they did.
Sure.
The GP.
Yeah.
I quite like Chanel's read to Release actually as well. Like, your pronouns are fee, fi, fo, and fum.
Oh yeah, that was quite good. Also, I loved that afterwards. Relisa was like, "Did she just call me a giant?" It's like it wasn't a very cryptic read. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Yes, of course, that's what she did. Like, quite funny.
I didn't know that riddle had made us all the way over to St. Lucia.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Do you know
pretty
what?
old.
Alexandra Burke probably had a hand in that. She's been
Thank
quite,
God.
yeah, she's been quite in the trading of words. She's been quite a figurehead of it, isn't she? Also, when I can't remember who it was that was like, "Oh, she's like, bring me the ring." It was like Gollum isn't a monarch. He's not like bring it to me. It's like he's looking after it. Why is he getting the ring brought to him? Like quite bad, quite a weird.
He doesn't always have it. He's always on the
I know,
search
he's not
for it, isn't
demanding that people bring it to him.
I don't know.
Who is he in your head? Very confusing. She also, as well, the worst thing about really, I mean, it's difficult to say what was truly the worst thing. But the worst thing about Releases maybe was when she finished and she went, "I tried." It was like, wow.
Did you though?
Yeah. Just like she sort of like said it like so defeated to herself, and she just sort of like slumped back. And then, have you got anything to say about the? I moved straight onto the walk around.
Well, I just had a couple of thoughts.
Yeah,
with like, I think people have gone a bit too far with doing historical
Plastic
or
surgery.
mythical
Okay,
characters these days.
Why?
Because it used to be just like we get it, you can do like the devil or whatever, and no one knows. It's like kind of get out jail free card because you can do whatever character you want. But so now we've had in this episode a Welsh dragon, Marie Antoinette, and 2 Queen Vics. It all seems a bit much like people are really leaning on, "Oh, I'll just do someone that actually I can just totally create." It's like, can we just have some good impressions again, please?
The thing is that's difficult about it is we are into a world now where there's two sides of the coin. We're into a world now where we've had so many Snatch Games that so many people have been done that it's like,
But there's
it's
a lot of people
hard.
in the world.
Yeah, it's actually quite hard to find people that are like really going to slap though. And what you essentially need for that is to be someone with like a sharp brain. Like you need to be a Gigi Good and be like, "I'm going to do Sophia the Robot," and like come up with something that's like really unique, which is not really what the girls are out here doing most of the time. That's the reason.
Or you can just do Liza, which is not unique at all, and it's been done and she did a good job.
But that's shooting yourself in the foot because if it's been done before, you have to be good because then it's comparative. But I just feel like it's I don't know. I do agree with you because what happens now is like the other side of the coin is that the girls are like, "Oh, like I'm not going to be good at Snatch Game, so I'll just do something that's very general." And like the Aki T doing that dragon, it was like she didn't even really pick like a character for her.
No,
it was just like Octavia dressed as a dragon saying Welsh sometimes.
Yeah.
Strange.
If I was Lil or Chara with the double Queen Victoria, I might have thought of going down the just...
Double Queen Victoria,
Maybe.
front and back.
I might have gone down the Just May route and done like the bronzed Victoria
Gone
from the
home
Queen
first.
Vic in
Lovely.
EastEnders, and they could just talk about all what's going down in the pub and stuff.
Yeah. I do quite like a sort of, what's it called when you blend two animals together?
Bestiality.
Yeah. No, when it's like an animal for whatever they're called. I quite like it when he's like, "I know that you want to be Eminem, but have you also thought about maybe being Nanny McPhee?" And
Oh
it's just
God!
like,
well, yeah. Let's get into these
Absolutely
table
insane.
talks then. First of all, to Lil,
is-
Chanel, and Lavoie.
Question. Is picking someone that Rue knows personally, that they've worked with and that they are friends with, is that flying too close to the sun? Because, like, if they actually know... If someone was like, "I'm doing Lukey," I'd be like, good fucking luck. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you would not be able to make me laugh doing a Lukey impression unless it was like someone that really fucking knew you.
Well, I was going to ask you the same thing. It's very risky. I mean, it worked well for Alaska doing Lady Bunny, but I mean, most things do kind of turn out well for
But
Alaska.
Lady Bunny is fucking hilarious. Lady Bunny is funnier than Rue.
How well do you know the work of Miss Coco Peru? Like, I recognise her, but I don't know. I've never seen her act or anything.
She was back in the day when you had Lady RuPaul, you had Sherry Vine, you had Coco Peru, you had, what's her with the eyebrows called? The very striking looking one.
Jackie Beat.
Jackie Beat. They were the go-to girls for like drag, and Lady Bunny obviously, drag queens on telly. And Coco Peru was actually in Will and Grace. Yeah. They were the sort of go-to girls of like someone that you'd have on telly if there was going to be a drag queen. So I have been aware of her work for ages, but them sort of girls, they're P-Town girlies. Do you know what I mean? They're doing the.
But like, I couldn't get from Chanel like what Coco Peru's vibe is.
She's funny. She's got flippy little wig. Like she's got very dry, dark humour.
Well, yeah, because Chanel was coming out with quite abstract things. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, she's quite weird as well, but like not enough to this. It struck me as her being like, oh, I'm going to do someone that she knows because then I'll be able to get points to her. But it was like, it's actually just quite a terrible choice because she's not very remarkable apart from the wig.
Can you believe that Lavoie was David Guest's assistant for 2 years?
I can. I really can. And then when I looked at it, I thought he was going to be like, because I was David Guest and I thought he was going to say brother. And I looked at the face and I thought, actually, very similar work going on.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why.
Very similar. Also, absolutely sick of when RuPaul just like completely disregards any prep that they've done.
I've got paragraphs on this, Barney.
I know that you want to be a Welsh dragon, but have you thought about do you remember when you once hiccuped and we said it sounded a little bit like Gemma Collins? I think you should go with that. It's like, he said, do MJ. It's like, are you going to be okay with me doing MJ and I have got no costume and no wig? And like, what?
Yeah,
Mad.
she's like, previously this competition, Michael Jackson has been a good character for you. It's like, she was dancing as Hugh Grant and then Michelle was like, oh, that's a bit Michael Jackson. And now suddenly that's a character that's worked well for her. Like at this point, you might as well just bring a bag of jumble and some wig options and just like wait to see who she does. And there's no consideration of people that have bought stuff or been practicing. And also
now that we've started
all this Diddy scandal, how are we forgetting that Michael Jackson is an actual paedophile? It's like, should I go Snatch Game and be like Jimmy Savile or fucking Ian Watkins?
I think you could.
Not you,
Probably not. Shout out to Ian.
And I've seen so much Michael Jackson on TikTok as well. It's like Gen Z have forgotten that he's a paedophile.
We will never let them forget.
Really pissing me off. Obviously, we know the releaser's kooky concept for Rihanna didn't work.
God. Even her saying it, I was like, you are going to try and cling to, like, I don't even remember what she's talking about. Like, I do a podcast about Drag Race. I didn't even have an idea of the character that she was talking about. She was like, oh, I should go back to that. It was like, you didn't win.
No.
It wasn't fun. Like, it wasn't, I'm imagining that she was high in that week because she had a good outfit on the runway. Probably not.
Well, just everyone was quite shit in that and the writing was terrible.
Yeah.
If it was me, like when I think of Rihanna, I think like she's pretty fucking powerful. I think I would have been like, maybe quite like macho or like mask or something, or just not demanding people give me money, or even just like really putting like some Caribbean stank on it that we know that she could do and just be really funny, like using funny phrases and stuff.
I was really trying to rack my tiny pea brain about like what I would do if I was Rihanna, and the only thing I could come up with is like, which is obviously like deeply stereotyping and not really, probably she's not Bayesian, so it's probably not her thing to do either, but just go into like full patois and be like cussing people out and just be like sort of like a bit like you a tornado of words, just like because that's what she does sometimes. I've sometimes seen adverts I've seen interviews with her where she's like goes off on these like tangents and people are obviously just like being like yeah. But again, that's not funny, that's not interesting. It's like it's not enough that you look like Rihanna. She didn't even look like her I wouldn't have looked.
I mean, I thought she did. I think she always does.
I mean, but like I wouldn't have looked. She didn't wear like an iconic Rihanna outfit. Do you know what I mean? Like it was just so strange, and I just don't know why she went for that choice. But I mean, it is what it is.
I would have loved to see Kyron as the Trunchbull. Like obviously, Elvis was great, but I feel like it's in the shoulda, woulda, coulda list along with the Vivian Silla.
Oh, I know. Question: me and you both turn out. We've both got Z breastplates. We're both trying to do Lolo Ferrari. Do you back down?
No. Battle of the Lolos.
Okay, but you're with me, a Taurus, an unbearable Taurus, and I'm like,
No, I think they should do it. They should be too. Yeah.
Has that ever happened? I don't think they're allowed.
I feel like maybe it has.
I don't think they're allowed.
There would probably be like, but this drama either way. My favourite bit of that interaction was when RuPaul says to Octavia, "The Welsh dragon, is that a mythical creature?" And Octavia goes, "I'd like to think so."
What are the other options? Yeah. I'm not entirely sure that it can be anything apart from a mythical creature, unless does she maybe think that, like, you know, like bearded dragon, Welsh dragon, is it a type of like lizard?
I think maybe
Because then who's more stupid, Aki T or Rue?
I think Aki T.
I think
she
T, but I
thought
like her
Rue was
more.
like, "Is that real?" And she goes, "I'd like to think so." Like, I'd like to think it's real, but no.
Sure.
And-
I think my main irk with all of this is doing Queen Victoria as an Irish person. That's a choice, babe. That is a choice.
Was she part of the? Was she involved in the raping of the Emerald Isle that we've been part of?
Thank you. Yeah, literally, like when
From the beginning of the time.
Yeah, when we had the potato famine, she was. So bear in mind, like the literal Emerald Isle, the lush green lands of Ireland.
I really don't like it, Kat.
You fucking bitch.
No.
I thought you said you read
The potato famine.
I
I actually hate Ireland and all Irish people as well. I'm joshing.
when we had the potato, so basically they come over and been like, "Oh my god, it's actually very gorgeous over here and has really fertile, gorgeous farming land." And then just like all the rich posh people came over from England and was like, "I'm just going to take this bit. I'm just going to take this bit." And it's like, "Oh, there's people living there already." It's like, "Oh, don't worry. They're basically." Can you say? No, I don't. I was going to say a word that I'm not really sure is very not very PC.
Keep that for the hangover.
They're basically yeah. They're basically like subhuman people.
Sure.
Like, they were like, oh, they're just like stupid, illiterate people. Like, don't worry about it. Just take over the land, and what you can do is you can get them to work on the land, and they'll basically like become slaves for you. But not in like chattel slavery. And so this is all going on while like, and then basically when we have the potato famine, which is like started because all of the land that has been like pillaged by the English basically, and all of the cows, all of every single part of farming.
The cows been pillaged.
Yeah, not again. Every single part of the country.
Where are we, Switzerland?
Every single part of the trade is sent back over to England for the rich people in England. And one of the only crops that we have that like people have become reliant on is Irish people are like reliant on potatoes. And then there's a freak disease that happens with the crops, and the potatoes. We have the potato famine because they won't yield, and the ground won't yield these potatoes. And they're like, everyone is dying. Like, millions and millions of Irish people are dying from starvation. And even though England has been like, oh, we've taken all of your land and we now charge people taxes to even like live on their own land because that's what England does.
Sorry. Where does this relate to Queen Victoria?
At the time, the Queen...
She was the ruling...
So she's like overseeing all of this like taxation and pillaging and just how they treat Irish people. And then they're like, we need aid. Obviously, where do they get best aid from? The Middle East. Turkey sent millions and millions of pounds to Ireland to help them.
Turkey in the Middle East?
Turkey? No? Is it not Middle East?
Dunno.
Europe? Asia?
Probably one of them bridging the continents.
Yeah. And no, it's absolutely 100% Europe. I don't know why I said Middle East. But like, they did receive also aid from other countries within the Middle East. But Queen Victoria, who is the reason why all of this is happening, she's like, oh, let's just send them £2,000. She sent £2,000 over, and that was
well, what today's prices, Barney?
and that was her relief. That was her relief from England, and she was like, "It'll sort itself out, and just let all these Irish people die."
So yeah, quite a weird choice.
So very strange. So
unless she was going to drag her,
I would say in terms of monarchs for Irish people, she's probably at the top of the burn pile. I would say.
Well, yeah, maybe Chara was going to go in with. Really bringing her down politically.
Yeah. Or maybe she's a unionist. Maybe she loves Great Britain.
Maybe.
No, she's from...
Yeah,
I did from Belfast.
I don't know.
She is. She's from Belfast, isn't she? Because she's friends with... Who's the other one?
Blue.
Who's your friend? Blue. Yeah.
I don't know where things are in Ireland.
She's from Northern Ireland, so she could well be a unionist and believe in connection of England and Ireland.
Let's go and burn her house down then.
Well,
so mad that Rue just asks her, like, have you considered any Northern Irish celebrities? Like, here she's again, literally just reducing people's whole personalities, their whole life experiences, just their accent or their spawn location.
Are you aware of the work of Graham Norton?
Actually, that would have been a really good one to do, like Graham or Alan.
I was thinking that might be my Snatch Game.
I hope there's some
Great
Charlie
movie.
XCXs next year.
Oh,
just
yeah,
like sunglasses, just like, Coke, yeah.
She'd be such a good person to do.
Especially if you're in sunglasses the whole time because it's easier
And she's
to...
also as well just like so cringe, and you could just say the best cringe shit. I also at the end when RuPaul was like, yeah, let's laugh together. That felt like a threat. That felt like, if you don't fucking make me laugh, you bunch of cunts. Also, so I love when they was like, from S Club, it's like, baby, read the room. They are all way too young for S Club. When Kyron was like, it's like my childhood. I was like, show me your passport. I
think Kyron's like 24 or something.
No, it was like, unidentified man and woman from maybe a band, maybe.
I thought John was a lot better value for money than I thought he was going to be. He actually had a bit of banter compared to old bloody boring Rachel Stevens.
You've got to be in your bonnet about her.
I have got to be in my bonnet about her.
Tell you what, John, 80% forehead though. He should rent that out and they could show films on it.
Truly.
He's like, Jesus. It was like, when he came on, it was like, his eyes are so far down in his chin. And it's just like, it looked like, you know, cone heads.
How funny that Bruce Lee's his dad as well.
Yeah. Question. Maybe I'm not. I used to be a huge S Club 7 fan back in the day, so I feel quite embarrassed to ask this, but I feel like maybe you'll know and then you'll be...
Well, you were halfway through the auditions for S Club Juniors.
And don't let anyone on the pod forget it. Halfway through, I was in the final, bitch.
Final,
yeah.
Always a bridesmaid, never the bride.
Wow. Did someone say that on the episode this week? Always
Marmalade.
a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Me and you, Mama. Miss Jukes. Rachel.
Rachel?
Why do we want to see her do her thing? What is that?
Rachel's doing her thing.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. He was like, Rachel, we want to see you do your thing. I was like, what?
What's your thing?
Yeah, innit? Your puss. The way Mama's wig was shaking back and forth through the whole way of Snatch Game, I was like, it's going to collapse. It's going to collapse. It was like, every time she moved her head. And that was a lovely walk clip wigs.
Was it?
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe it was just made of cake inside. I just couldn't move past the gorgeous soft beat on Elvis. It was sensational.
Absolutely.
I couldn't do that I couldn't make myself look that fresh, cute and balmy in 20 hours of makeup. I don't even know how she fucking did it.
Well, you're supposed to do your makeup and then go stand in a stand by the steamy shower, aren't you? And it helps soften and dew it all up.
Is this what people are talking about? Pre-shower makeup?
Yeah, because you do a full beat and you do it more glam than you underpaint, more glam than you think you would need, and then you go and do a body shower, and then the steam from it helps soften everything together.
That seems...
Also, as a girl that is
backwards.
Like clinically hot and sweaty all the time, it's like, I would obviously just get out and just like have no makeup on my forehead. Like,
surely you're just creating your own steam by living.
I'm steamy enough as it is. I had big problems with very strange nude illusion on Liza's chest.
Yeah, very loose. Maybe it's representing the crepey skin of the older lady.
The crepey middle skin. Oh, that's a difficult time, isn't it? Don't worry, you're not going to feel that because
I'll get Botox all over
also
it.
your chest is pumped full of...
Only down the bottom.
You got very famously very narrow beds.
I do.
So you're going to be fine because the skin there is tight.
I hope so.
Tight. And if not, just get like a third implant in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very the substance, actually.
Is it?
Have you got a Liza impression?
Liza. I don't really know enough about her.
No, I mean, I know her the most from Arrested Development, where she
Is she on
has... Yeah, she's so fucking good.
She's fucking hilarious, isn't
and
she?
she has vertigo, but she'll just have it when she's walking, just be like, oh my God.
I just love the video when she's like, Dale! Dale!
Oh, in the back of the cab.
That felt like quite a good impression, sorry.
It was. I thought Chara was really fucking good to keep that.
Same.
There's so much brain power to be doing like Snatch Game Inception, like
yeah,
that.
I thought she absolutely fucking killed Snatch Game.
I feel like she should have potentially
Same.
won.
I thought she should have won as well.
Yeah.
Rachel Stevens, a hot, young, sexy thing, correct? Why is she always dressed
debated.
Why is she always dressed like one of the loose women? Like, imagine they're like, oh, you're going on Drag Race, you can wear anything. Like, cunty, like, give them some fashion, give them gays, everything they've been screaming for. And she wears like a long-sleeved, like, glittery tunic from sort of Evans or something.
Yeah.
It's like, babes. And then she's like, oh, I don't really know what to do with my hair. Let's just keep it poker straightened down. And I'll just do sort of like nude makeup. It's like, girl, you could do anything.
Also, she's not really getting the whole gist of Snatch Game. You're not meant to say the most obvious answer.
A cock ring. It was like, even John was like, okay, bitch.
Yeah. Although I was thinking, what would I answer for that? I actually don't know. But fucking Lil with her picture of the dick. I didn't know we were allowed to show erect phalli on the beeb.
Phalli! Oh, lovely. Out of Smash or Pass, Rachel Stevens?
Pass.
Smash or Pass, John Lee?
Smash.
Really?
I'd just be sitting on that forehead. No, I would pass on both.
You'd be slipping and sliding on that forehead. Although maybe you could sort of use the lips as like a sort of sucker on the forehead. You know, like a good flat surface. Really just get some... And then just unfurl her onto the...
True. I remember our friend Charlie Partridge.
Oh, here we go.
He told us he had sex with this girl once.
When it follows him out?
Yeah, and as he sort of pulled his dick out,
Sorry,
the insides of the vagina kind of unfurled themselves like a vine.
Sorry, you just full named him?
That's all right.
He's a person on the scene.
He's all right. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Chazza. Should we go to Limmy Day? Have you got anything...
What was I going to say?
Anything else you want to talk about?
I love how every time Chanel would answer these abstract questions as Lady Peru, Rue would just always be like, why'd you say that? It's like, bitch, I'm not letting you get away with this madness just for madness' sake. Explain yourself.
Also, at one point, it just like cut over to the rest of the thing, and everyone was just like, even supposedly in character, they couldn't even be bothered to hide it. They were like, this is so... What? Shut up. What are you talking about? Like, wow, you bitches.
I can't wait for my hip replacement so I can do those leg spins like
I
Lavoie.
know. Oh, and I loved as well. I was like, oh, when she was spinning it, I was like, go on, throw it. And then she threw it. I thought, good for you, bitch.
And now we can sashay on over to a Limmy Day.
Cracking up at Kyron having this deep and meaningful with them eyebrows. Every time it cut to them, I was like, this is exactly what Drag Race is all about. Someone being like, and then I was trafficked and I spent 3 months living in a box, and then it cuts to someone that's like in half drag. They're just like them fucking eyebrows that were like all the way back at this thing. I was like, I've screenshot it. I was like, this is so ridiculous. How are we supposed to take any of this seriously?
That was literally my note, but for Octavia, like being so honest, open and vulnerable, then you've literally got like a kryolan balaclava on. Stupid question, Barney. Have you ever battled with your confidence?
Oh, it's funny you should ask this. No.
No room for growth.
Absolutely. I've got enough growth.
All over your back.
Substance
again. Sorry, I just can't help it.
I can't help it. And do you love Margaret Qualley now as well?
Well, the one main issue that me and Mags had is
she's not pretty enough.
She is meant to be hotter version of you, and she's not as beautiful as Demi Moore, especially not more beautiful than Demi Moore. Rocking bod though, even though the boobs were fake, but the butt was lovely. So much butt and gusset. It's really
got a real like full body critique there. She's going in on the face. She's going in on the boobs. She's going in on the butt. Good for her. But do you know she's married to Jack Antonoff of the famous music producer that everyone hates because he ruins everyone's music?
No, but did you know she's a daughter of Andy McDowell?
Do I know? Of course I do.
I didn't even know who she was.
Like copy and paste. Do you not think she looks so much like Andy McDowell?
I'd have to see a side by side, but not really, because I think of Andy McDowell as having tiny little piss hole in the snow eyes.
Oh, okay. They've got quite similar mouths as well.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at the mouth, baby. Looking at that butt. Poor old Chanel. It's such a weird mindset being upset.
Hang on, I feel like we just skipped over something that I was going to...
Well, you couldn't even just let me finish my sentence.
Well, no, because it was like you've just skipped over your own point. What did you say before this? I was going to add something to it.
About your battle with confidence.
Yeah, you just asked me about my battle with confidence, and now I was going to talk about it.
Well, you shouldn't have digressed onto bloody...
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I didn't. I said about I ain't got room for growth, and then you're off about the substance. You can't help yourself. It's like an illness for you. She's obsessed.
Sidebar, I would take it.
No, because, let me tell you, I think this is maybe 100% factually incorrect, and I will never know because I desperately do not want to have children. But I think your level of confidence is deeply to do with how your parents treat you when you're younger. And I was lucky enough to have parents that were both just like, they like everything that I said or wanted to do, they were like, you should do that. And they were like really instilled in me that like I can basically do anything when I was younger. And I'd be like, I want to go be in this play. I want to do this. Any sort of like mad batty little idea that I had, they were like, okay.
Batty and all
and not in like a bratty way, because I actually wasn't, I didn't actually turn into a brat till I was older. But like and I think that's a lot to do with confidence, that if you have, when you're younger, your parents are just like, oh, no, you're perfectly capable of doing that. That you're like, yeah, I guess I am then.
I have to agree to D.
Okay.
Because my dad is the biggest cheerleader for me of anyone that's ever existed in the world. But I was still shy and scared to do things. So,
really?
Yeah.
But is your mum Like, go off and do it. Don't do it. So if we're
No, she's always like,
just analysing and picking apart your parental
my
styles.
mum was like a good supportive human, but then my dad is like the most extra, like, you are the most beautiful girl that has ever existed in the planet.
Then maybe that's the problem.
Too much.
Yeah, that actually it's like if someone's like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous, you're so brilliant, that you're like,
that's pre-nose job as well. He's chatting shit.
Yeah, literally. And then you're like, that doesn't feel real. Do you know what I mean?
But no, it wasn't even like, because I know it's always this like, yeah, Dad, I know you love me. I know you think I'm great.
But that's what I mean. That's different then. That you're like, that feels conditional. That you're like, oh, you of course you're saying that because you love me and you're my dad. Whereas like that's a different thing from parents being like, you can do this. Like I didn't feel like my parents were like only saying that because I was their child.
No, it's only that. But I mean, it's just like, I know my dad's crazy, so it's just like he'll just be like. So like this grain of rice is like the most perfect grain of rice. So you're just kind of like, okay, because you know he's crazy.
Yeah. Would you say you struggle with confidence yourself, Lex? Go on, be vulnerable on the pod. Open up.
Yeah. I don't know how I got into burlesque dancing because I used to like literally be the shyest person in the world.
Shy? You would class yourself as shy? What's so mental about you is just classic Gemini, is that I think for 90% of the people...
extroverted, introvert.
Yeah, I think 90% of the people that would meet you would be like, she is so confident. Like if you saw you at bingo.
That's because I'm drunk on stage with half my bloody tits hanging out.
Yeah. But you are the living embodiment of an extroverted introvert. It's that Gemmy within you. Yeah.
So Chanel O'Connor. I think it's so weird when people are upset that they're gonna let people down by not doing well on the show or whatever. Like, if they're that invested in your drag, they just want you to do as well as you can and be happy. They're not going to be like, wow, I helped that bitch stone these outfits and she's only made it past 4 episodes. Like, fuck her. Like, the reason you think that they'd be let down is because they're your friend. And if they're your friend, they're not going to be let down by you.
If you got on Drag Race, even just you walking in the room and leaving first, I'd be like, she got on Drag Race. Like, most people will never, ever be able to experience that in the whole of that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, however many episodes you do or however much, whatever you do with your time. Also, being on Drag Race is such a tiny fraction of actually the experience. It's like, then you get to leave and then you get to your brand deals and your touring and your...
Yeah, then you're...
going over and getting...
household name.
Getting over painting Willem, you know? Like, there's so many things to be done. These girls are... And this is when us, unemotional, cold, evil bitches...
Snakes.
Really, yeah. These girls are literally held together with face tapes. Like, one thought of home or their partner and they are falling apart. Like, they're like cheap tie. What does he say? Like, cheap tights, no support.
Yeah. Thank you, Bobby Norris.
Thank you, Bobby Cole Norris. It's insane. I can't imagine being so emotionally volatile ever that, like, people are like, so, like, Barney, have you got, like, friends back home that are supporting you? And you're like... just like straight away, just like literally everyone just breaks down, and it's like you never know who's going next. Chanello getting all upset like that. It's like I didn't see it coming.
No,
which has made her stronger stuff, babe. Not that we judge you. Not on the pod.
I think she lied to us at the beginning.
Yeah, and it's like all of them. Like we've had the breakdown of Kyron. We've had the breakdown of like we even got a little glimpse of Relisa in later on in Untucked. It's all coming. Has Mama?
A model never cries.
Thank you.
A supermodel.
She has a commitment to the fashion community to not break in that way. Should we take a little break?
Let's absolutely do that.
Love.
Let me tell you something, you ugly bitch.
Here I go. Let me tell you something. Did you know that post the Great Depression and soaring alcoholisms...
That's a Wednesday for me.
The most common wedding gift in the 1900s... Can you see if you can guess what it is? Maybe you know this. The most common wedding gift to give to a bride in the 1900s.
What era is that?
The 1900s, as in the 21st century. 20th century.
Was that Victorian or something?
Yeah.
What?
End of the Victorian.
No idea. I'll guess. I will say fresh linens.
It's still a tradition to this day, which is often passed down between the women in their family. But the most common wedding gift on record is that you would buy the bride a cast iron skillet or a marble rolling pin.
Keep women in the kitchen.
Can you guess why it is?
So they have a weapon to beat off a...
Because of how rampant domestic abuse was in that time, these were referred to as the Catholic divorce.
Ooh.
And women were often gifted by older women in their family a cast iron skillet and a marble rolling pin, just in case they needed to use it on their husband.
Gross.
Because domestic... Isn't that just like... Why was anyone getting married?
Because you need to have a man be able to have any rights, really.
If I'm going to have to beat him over the head with a rolling pin, then I'm not going to have one anyway. Do you know what I mean? Which also leads me on neatly onto, are you aware of the work of Aqua Tofana?
Aqua Tofana, is that drag name?
It should be. Be a sick Aqua Tofana. In the 17th century, beauty supply travellers, which was like the early Avon ladies,
Fine.
They would go around selling beauty supplies door to door to villagers and stuff. And they would be women, often thought of as witches, obviously. And Aqua Tofana was a beauty elixir that was in use in Italy, obviously, psychopathic Italians.
Shout out my people.
Beauty elixir that had no taste and no odour. It had no function apart from the fact that
So it's water they're selling you?
If you put it in someone's food, it would kill them.
Oh.
It had no taste and no odour. And that was again bought by wives just in case their husbands...
So their husbands were like, oh, what's that? You're like, oh, it's my beauty elixir.
It's like a toner, like a beauty elixir.
But if you fuck with me...
Yeah, and you could basically poison your husband, and it became this very famous thing because this Aqua Tofana, like a lot of housewives would buy it and have it, and it was like just in case.
Nice. I like those rape gloves. Have you seen them?
No.
I think they're from the Victorian times. They're like gloves that have like sort of like metal claws on them, so if you're getting raped, you can...
Well, it's like that thing that you can, that women in, I believe it's somewhere in Latin America, somewhere in Central or South America, that you can put these things in for like when you walk home at night.
Like a lion thing.
Yeah. And it's like...
I think some people have them in some parts of Africa as well.
Yeah. And if you basically put it up your vag, and then if someone tries to penetrate you without... Well, at all, if anyone tries to penetrate you, then it clamps down on their dick, and they can only get rid of it if they go to the hospital, and then the hospital will call the police.
Oh, I thought the one I've heard of is kind of like how like a lion's dick is barbed, so like it will go in, but then if it comes out, then just like all the fucking thorns that stick onto you.
So it goes like, so you'd go in.
I didn't know that they had to. It would be stuck on them.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was just like, that hurts. I'm not doing that.
No, it goes so deep into them that it has to be like properly removed, and because they know that this is like you could only have done it in rape, then you get the police called on you.
Sick.
And the only other option is that like you can't remove.
I want one.
You can't remove it yourself. So like unless you wanted to like lose your dick, then crazy times.
Crazy times.
Well, not crazy. I mean, crazy times for women having to go that far. Anyway, let's talk the main stage. I thought RuPaul, for once, looked so cute, young, fun and flirty.
What about those fluffy boots?
And the
when you've got
gums.
hosting a drag show at 4 and rave podium dancing at 11.
Oh, wasn't she very sort of... Also, did you clock later on that she was like, I think we met at Pyramid, and then John was like, I was like, okay, someone seems party monster.
Slime light.
Yeah. Oh my God, it is. Sorry, yeah. Pyramid Club. But Pyramid Club was the club before Limelight.
Fine.
Limelight.
Did I say Slime Light?
Yeah,
is that a
you did.
London club?
Slime Light is a London club.
Emo.
It's the one in Angel at Electro Works.
Angel. Thoughts on Amanda Holden? Did you know she tried out for the part of Tiffany in EastEnders, but Martine McClutchan beat her to it? So in another timeline, Lavoie could have been playing her in Hate Actually if she had been in EastEnders and then got the Love Actually role based off of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was quite a fantastic historical reference there.
Thank you.
Did you also know that Amanda Holden had an affair with Jamie Theakston, and he had to do a whole career rejuvenation because she was the Scarlet Woman?
Oh, really?
And he had to like become family friendly again because he was obviously like a family friendly.
But she's got away scot-free.
TV presenter. Well, she also was married to Les Dennis.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So did you see my meme that I actually posted on the wrong month, but oh no, it wasn't in the wrong month. It was saying, and next week is the devil that is Amanda Holden. And I was like, why does everyone hate Amanda Holden? And I went on a very dark, deep
Tell me.
Well, she has had multiple. She has, in British TV history, she has two of maybe three of the most Ofcom complaints about an outfit being on television. And when you see this fucking outfit, remind me that I'll put a picture up on the pod of this Amanda Holden outfit that garnered the most Ofcom complaints about an outfit ever.
Please bring it up now.
It is absolutely insane. What do you think in order for a In order for this outfit, like, what would she need to be wearing?
So, maybe like a slogan tee that's very offensive. I can't.
Yeah, like clan robes. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, this is the outfit that she wore on Britain's Got Talent that received the most amount of...
People never seen the Met Gala or a Beyonce
Let me just
video.
explain this
It's
dress
a bit
to
of
you.
Nude Illusion.
It's a Julian McDonald gown with a high neck, and one piece of the breast and a bit of hip is Nude Illusion that is then covered in sort of like branches and flowers. It is so boring, and it is so not offensive in any way. And then the other outfit...
Go and complain to J-Lo. It's a little bit of cleavage in a deep V.
She's got what we like to call in the business bread roll tits, where she's actually got she's got no cleavage, and they're conjoined breasts.
Like Peter Todd, page 3 girl.
Yeah, and it's very strange. She's kind of dressed for open heart surgery, like when they cut.
But that's still very standard for like, who are these nuns bloody complaining?
Insane. Imagine being so boring that you write into Ofcom. Not even a nasty call. Not even.
But in that time, page 3 is allowed to exist in newspapers that kids can pick up and look at.
Absolute
Oh,
insane. Yeah.
sweet, perfect Peter Todd breasts.
And I couldn't really remember why everyone hated Amanda Holden. And then she was on my TV for like 30 seconds. She is either a drunk or a drug addict. They are my only two options. She was so loud and so obnoxious. I thought, do you know what? They've had many men on here that have like, she's basically the antidote to Alan Carr. Just like shout and scream.
I actually didn't mind her. I kind of thought her and Alan's tete-a-tete was quite fun. It's quite fun when you know someone. And I thought she was a lot more kind of fun and young at heart than I thought she might be, because I don't watch Britain's Got Talent.
A bit of a dirtier mouth than I thought, which is nice. Shelley, luminous. Absolutely fantastic. I actually saw a photo of her the other day that is what is the franchise that she's now the head judge of?
Down Under.
Down Under. Terrifying. Oh,
I wanted to
my
see
God.
Sasha on that, because she's got the most insane like headpiece wigs
Sasha?
going on. Colby.
Oh, of course. What's she got to do with it?
She's a guest judge.
Is she? For the whole thing?
I don't know. Maybe just for one episode.
Wow. Can you remember what photo I said, we'll put up a pod? Oh, Andy McDowell, was it?
Fine.
No.
I thought Amanda Holden's dress.
Oh, yeah, let's put up her dress as well.
So,
go on.
the runway is Doctor Who is she? What would you have worn?
I have never seen Doctor Who.
But you got to invent something.
I don't know. So this was my problem with this runway. First of all, is there much crossover? I suppose gays can be geeks too, but is there much crossover of people that love Doctor Who?
I was going to say, if it wasn't invent your own thing, trans icon Charlie Craggs actually is acting on Doctor Who. So you could have gone as her with all the freckles, the biggest black curly wig in the world, but you have to invent it yourself.
True. Shout out Charlie. But also, I do believe that like maybe like our deep friend of the pod, Tia Coffey, is like a diehard Doctor Who fan as well.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think maybe back in the day it was very camp, but I also never watched it either.
Well, I can atone for a tone. I can get into the fact that Catherine Tate was in it. She was the Doctor's assistant, and then it was Billie Piper. So there've been a lineage of bad.
Surprised you
bitches.
weren't watching in the Billie Piper era.
I just cannot get into the idea of Doctor Who, but I'm sure now it's got Tootie in, and he's fine as hell.
So
maybe I could maybe I'm being unnecessarily. Could you believe if I could be unnecessarily judgmental about something that I'd never seen?
No,
it just doesn't sound in me.
Not at all.
Which would be the only thing that hasn't. Right? Should we first up?
So you've got no outfit?
No, have you?
Yeah.
Have you seen Doctor Who before?
No, I invented my own outfit.
Yeah, but this is my problem. From what parameters? What's
Anything.
the style of it? What's the like?
It can be literally anything, because he's like a time-travelling, space-travelling...
So does it have to be historical?
No, it's like, it can be literally anything from time and space.
I just never seen it, so I was like, I don't know what... I couldn't tell what was a good Doctor Who outfit because I don't know about the style of what Doctor Who is.
No, but I think it's like Star Trek, like every episode there's like a different creature from a different planet or
Sure,
something.
but can we agree that like in Buffy, for example, if you're like, oh, you're going to be a creature from Buffy, they have it, that stylistically they have a genre that they come from.
Well, yeah, because they're all vampires at the same, and there's kind of a weird couple of demons, but...
Yeah, but it's like demons, it's like gothic, it's like... So but sure. What was yours?
I would want to be like a
Where the people are.
parasite. So kind of in a bodysuit with extra long arms and legs, and then extra like padded arms coming off, and then like a very tall head, kind of like ornacia. So like my face would be the neck, kind of a bit like Heidi Klum.
Oh,
E.T.
let's put a photo
And then
of
there would
Heidi
just
Klum.
be at the top of the thing in the ornacia space, just like a horrible, like multiple mouths of loads of like teeth, kind of
Gross.
alien styles. Maybe like orange and yellow horizontal spots, something that makes it look a bit under the sea, parasite, poisonous
Into it.
kind of thing. Lots of drool.
Lots of drool. Okay, I'm into it. And like that terrifying, is it in Stranger Things, that terrifying sort of like monster, the way it's like opens up into a star and it has a mouth with loads of teeth
Yeah,
in the middle?
literally.
Absolutely.
Gorgon?
Fucking.
Gorgon City.
Yeah, terrifying.
What's their song?
I am not the bitch to ask. Gorgon City.
I don't know why it's in my head. I feel like it's either like Fireflies or like Hey There Delilah
Everybody's
or something.
fireflies. No, that's our friend Ellie Goulding. Oh, come on. Let's get into a little story about Ellie Goulding.
No, they say that for The Hangover.
No, let's get properly into Ellie Goulding on The Hangover. But we can tell the girls about this. I saw on TikTok the other day a tweet. Nope. Try again, Grandpa. I saw a TikTok the other day that was like, who do you think is the most underrated musical star on in the UK? Can you believe that I looked down in the comments, but who do people think it is? One of the first comments is a comment from the official account of Ellie Goulding. Yes, Ellie Goulding. Like, I would say at this point she's had like multiple. She had number ones.
I don't know. I hate her.
Yeah, like most importantly, we are not into her in any way, shape, or form.
Even after the jaw surgery.
She had jaw surgery.
Well, it doesn't look as Natalie Nunn as it used to, but
Even
no one
if
does.
my name was Natalie Nunn, your bitch couldn't check me. So she has. Oh, here we go. She has her debut studio album Lights debuted at number 1 on the UK charts. It had 3 successful singles: Your Song, Starry Eyed, and Lights. Her second album was also number 1. She has collaborated with people like DJ Calvin Harris. Yeah. So like,
so what we call it now, DJ Calvin
she's
Harris.
Grammy Award nominated. She's been on the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. She's had multiple certified albums. And she has songs that have spent up to 8 weeks at number 1 on the UK singles chart. Like, she's a recipient of 3 Brit Awards, a Billboard Music Award, and nomination and 2 Grammy nominations. She has also Time 100 honoured her with an Impact Award for her platform to protect the environment. She sold more than 27 million albums, 216 million singles, and amassed 43 billion streams worldwide, making her one of the most successful British female singers of the 21st century.
That's disgusting.
Now, if you can separate how boring and boring and untalented, so nasty.
She went out with Dougie McFly.
Don't
Like,
you
what the
fucking bring that up,
fuck?
don't you dare.
He was
She
going to go in a
is-
very deep, dark time at the.
She is, to me, a musician, a singer. I think she has not a very pleasant voice to listen to.
No, it's very nasal.
Very nasal. She has a very strange tone. It's not something that I would listen to, and I don't know any of her music. But she also, for me, musically, she's like the equivalent of her music is Debenham's like changing rooms music. Like I don't like the songs that I do know, so boring, not interesting whatsoever. But she's obviously got loads of fans and she's amassed loads of critical success. Now, shiver me timbers that I go on this TikTok and we're talking about this viral TikTok that's like, who is the most underrated artist? She herself has commented on this saying, me. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to think of all of the opportunities that I've missed out on because I can't believe in myself. I find it so difficult to just believe in me, and that's always been the barrier to my success.
Fuck off.
What the fuck? Never has someone spun gold from literal shit. I couldn't believe it. It was like, first of all, that's so fucking arrogant. If I was someone that just was like, had like a completely middle of the road voice and was like very, very, like, she doesn't have interesting videos. She doesn't have interesting artistry. Like, she doesn't bring us visuals. She doesn't bring us fashion. She doesn't bring us anything apart from like the music is all there is, right? if I had someone that had become, on her own Wikipedia, one of the most successful British female singers of the 21st century without even having a nice voice or any interesting lyrics and music, I'd be thanking my damn lucky stars, not coming onto TikTok and moaning that I am underrated.
What, trying to get some like tweens that have never heard of you to fucking sympathise?
How much more rated does she want to be? I think she's like
overrated.
Yeah, 100% overrated. Absolute insanity. So that's our little deep dive. But let's really get into our absolute faves that we love to hate on the pod. Right, back up. First up we have Kyran Thrax putting the ass in asteroid.
Love it. Love those horrible teeny tiny little eyes.
Disgusting. Absolutely
so
repulsive.
Good. That is a wig chapel.
Love. Did I love?
Huh?
What did it look like?
It's got the antenna. It's like black with antenna.
Yeah, fine.
I mean, it's doing the thing. I might have had silver antennae to be a bit more TV-esque.
Wow.
But I mean, of course, with Kyran, it's always going to be at least a bloody 7, isn't it? She's really...
I'm going to let you into a little
Kill,
secret.
killing.
The majority of my things today are a 7 because I didn't know what the parameters were. I just didn't know.
You don't need to know what it is. Just like, do you like it?
Yeah, I did. I gave it a 7. I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun and I liked the beat.
Yeah, fine. Me too. I kind of wish that the electricity bit was just in like the TV section. So it's kind of like the arms and legs were black because the boots will go so high that it kind of looks like it's meant to be that, but it's not. But it's all right. I mean, yeah, the bitch can do no wrong, really, can she?
Yeah.
Next up,
Chanel serving Red Rocket, which I've never heard before, but I love.
The makeup was so gorgeous, I wanted to sob. It was so like 80s airbrush. You don't really notice it at first, but when she's in Untucked and it's just those close-ups.
Oh, well, I put on here, I wish she'd painted her face. When she was on the runway, I was like, oh, why is she not? She's just done sort of like a very simple, like soft glam. And I
Are
was
you
like, oh.
joking?
On the runway.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't notice it at all. And I was like, oh, that's quite disappointing. I feel like she should have tied it into the actual overall look. I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I can't really help you with more on this, but I did think she looked like that old bitch from Game of Thrones in her wimple and sash that I always see in memes. Do you know what I'm talking
What's
about?
that, the pointy hat thing?
Yeah.
I feel so she's kind of like a squid army general or something.
Yeah. Where are we getting that from?
I think that's what she said. She's
Okay.
like the Squizzle sisters or
Yeah.
something. But just the outfit looks quite kind of normal, and then the little squid bits look way too cartoonish, I think. And yeah, once Michelle said about the little dog dicks, like that is obviously all you can see.
Oh God, you have not lived until you are sat. You're just like watching telly, you're catching up on the OC, I don't know, like Marissa's just died, you're feeling a bit emotional, you look over and there is your beloved family pet sucking themselves off with their lipstick.
So especially like with
one of my dogs was like ginger, like bright ginger, and it was just like gorgeous orange fur, and then just be like a bright pink dick staring back at you. It's like, please.
Oh, it's like a lovely fruit salad.
Yeah, please go and fucking suck yourself off somewhere else. It's absolutely repulsive.
I thought they were a bit mean though, saying it looks like bin bags. Like I think like the costume of it is not to be.
I give it a 7. I thought it was fun. I like the beat.
I agree.
Okay, next up we have Chardy serving Tinkle Winkle.
I thought it was weird that Michelle says she looks more like a witch. Is that just because she's got a green face? And this definitely is giving funny little alien.
Yeah, I thought so too. I really liked the head. I liked that she was like, oh, I'm purple, like the dick emoji. It's like, no, babe, that's an aubergine emoji. It's like people just misusing it. Like, it's not actually a cock.
What's the thing that people have done before? Like a something purple people eater? Or
Yeah, yeah.
is it some kind of new wave song?
There's. I think it's some like 50s song. But I thought this was also fun, and I gave it 7, and I like the beat.
This would probably be more like a 6 for me. Just I don't really see velvet as a intergalactic fabric. Maybe that's just me.
Wow. Okay. Tell that to Sasha Velour, the original alien. Next up, we have Release the Slaves. And I feel like I should be calling her Release the Slaves because everyone else refuses
No one
to.
else
That
bloody
is her
will.
name. She's from the slave that's not what you say.
Well, I was
She is
talking
from the family of Frida slaves.
Well, yeah, because when I was out on Saturday talking to our friend Lamara about Drag Race, and she was like, love Relisa, but just like, the name is a bit off key. And I was like, well, no, because her drag mother is called Frida Slaves. And then she was like, oh my God, like, firstly, that's a great name. And secondly, now, like, it does make so much more sense when you know that. So if you don't know that, I guess it is a bit standalone jarring.
Do you think people are like, is it that it's like, it feels like political, but then
flippant.
also just like completely flippant to be like slavery, like. But then also like, who are you? Apart, obviously RuPaul is allowed to say, but it's like, if that's what she wants her drag name to be, and that's what she stands for, like activism, then who are you to say anything?
So this is inspiration from Caribbean folklore of La Diablesse, and I've done a deep dive on this character.
Please.
Okay, so La Diablesse or La Diablesse is a character in Caribbean folklore. She was an enslaved African woman who made a deal with the devil to give her soul to him, becoming a demi-demon, cute, in exchange for eternal beauty. To others, her poised figure and dress make her seem beautiful. However, her hideous face is hidden by a large brimmed hat, and her long dress hides the fact that one leg ends in a cow hoof, which on the Instagram picture she did have a hoof.
Love.
Although she could have done that with those hoof shoes. But
Yeah,
anyway.
of course.
She walks with one foot on the road and her cow hoof in the grass at the side of the road. She smells distinctly of a mix of fine perfume and deadly decay. She can cast spells on her unsuspecting male victim, who she leads into the forest. When in the forest, she disappears. The victim, confused, lost and scared, runs around the forest until he falls into a ravine or river or gets eaten by a wild dog and dies.
Love.
To break the spell of La Diablesse, one must turn their clothing inside out, light a sacred candle and walk home backwards away from the last area in which she was spotted. Sick.
Wow. And also, do you see as well how like so much of like modern day witchcraft is like derived from like ancient African spirituality and stuff? Like even the idea of like
There's the cow hooves.
sick. Even the idea of like that once your energy has been fucked with, like once someone has like essentially like cursed or put a hex on you, like you would light a candle and walk away from it and not look back. Like that's like so used, especially in like
If only you could do that with creepy men.
brujeria and stuff. Crazy. It's so interesting. And La Diablesse means female devil. The Diablo. Thank you for that deep dive. That was quite fascinating. 22 inches. I thought it was very interesting. Again, this was another one. It was like, who am I to say that Charities is more like a Doctor Who monster than... Because when I saw this, I was like, this doesn't look like a Doctor Who
I don't think
monster.
it's a competition of what's the most Doctor Who
Then isn't it just like a monster?
Well, yeah, it's just like a fantastical creature that you've made up.
But that's it's just a bit confusing to me because I thought like in regards to this, that is from African spirituality, like that is something from Trinidad. Is that correct?
Caribbean.
I believe it's Trinidadian. I think I read somewhere. So that's an existing thing within like folklore. So it's like that's definitely not.
Well, she's inspired by it.
Sure.
I
That doesn't
thought
feel
she
like
was more like an
Doctor
amoeba or
Who.
something.
Yeah. So I was just like, when I was watching, I was like, I feel like I can't really adequately say. All I can do is just the visual of like, do I like this? And I liked all of them, and I thought this was super interesting and fun. And I thought also as well, this is not a read, but like this is actually very sick because you could do this costume very cheaply. Like actually, it was like
Well, like when you did that costume with all the hair on it that made me feel sick.
yeah. It's actually just like a super sick idea, and I really liked it. I gave it a 7.
I'd give this like an 8.5. I thought this was
go
really
off.
cool.
Yeah. Next up, we have Miss Duke, Lady Mama.
It cracks me up.
I didn't write any notes, didn't write a name for it. I just put, it's a 10.
Yeah, fantastic. It made me laugh because it showed her in confessional describing it at first. When she cracks a joke, she goes off. She
No one
is
finds Mama more funny than Mama
guffawing
does.
away.
Yeah.
This is a How's Your Head wig. And
Is
yeah,
it? What was she wearing on the head?
like this black hair.
Oh, cute. That's quite, when we did your black centre parting waves and they turned out quite Ollie Cromwell.
Olo Cromo.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually giving me the gorgeous princess from Flash Gordon. Not that I've seen it, but
I
she's
haven't
just
either.
an insane reference.
I'm going to put it up on the pod. I've never seen it.
But yeah, when she was on my mood board for when we were going to do the ill-fated night in Shoreditch, and I was going to have a lip sync number, but turned into the power trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just
Sorry, just really confused as to what we're doing. We have to speak in code words just so that we don't get sued on the pod.
so I think this is rather than I guess this is more kind of like royalty or
It kind of reminded me of what's the character in Star Wars, you know, like Ali Madavi or whatever her name is, that's Natalie Portman was.
yeah.
That kind of like
The one that Megan Fox went as for this
Yes.
Halloween.
What's the- do you know
Queen
her name?
Alibaba, I don't know.
Yeah.
Shout out AliExpress.
Shout out AliExpress.
And shout out AliExpress the drag queen. No, sorry, she's a DJ, isn't she?
Yeah.
Great name. I wish it was my name.
Yeah. But
10 out of 10. And this is the first costume she's ever collaborated on with someone.
Wow. Next up, we have Her Royal Highness Lil serving Bobby Dazzler, aka Barney.
Girls, gays and nays. This is where I nearly had a fucking heart attack. I had a text from celebrity hairstylist Tom Berry saying...
Who can I say is only 50% friend of the pod now because I want him fucking dead. If you're listening to this, Tom Berry, you fucking faggot, I'm going to kill you. Because when I see this, not only the way that my name has been dragged through the mud, how dare you?
Yeah, basically Tom was like, oh my God, wait till you see Drag Race. When Lil comes out, I thought it was Barney. And I was just like, wow, I can't wait to see this. And first of all, was not expecting it to be like this kind of look. And we've got a picture, basically 1 year for Festival. Us and two other friends with like old face, and we were like walking around Festival.
Old face?
As like old people, and it was so good. And that's basically exactly what Lil looks like now. Barney in basically cartoonish makeup. When
I saw it, you know, when it's like quite often when people are like, oh my God, it reminded me of you, you want to look at it and be like, I'm sorry, bitch, you're way off. As soon as I saw it, I was like, damn, she's got my number. So celebrity hairstylist Tom Berry, your days are numbered. Because I'm coming for you, bitch. I'm coming for you.
I got me, girl.
But in regards to the outfit, I thought such a fantastic execution of an amazing idea.
It was a 10.
It was
It's
a
always a
15.
10. If Her Royal Highness, if my top three are not Her Royal Highness Lil, Kyrana, I'm going to leave the third place open. I think it's probably going to be Livoire. I am.
Your top three or the top...
I think that will probably be the top three.
What about Marmo?
I think I would love it to be Marmaduke. That would be my top three. It would be Lil, Marmaduke, and
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, Kyran. That would be my top three, but I think it probably Livoire. I just feel that in terms of what the judges like, Livoire is your Ginger Johnson. Livoire is your... Do you know
Ginger will love that.
Yeah. No. I just mean in terms of like what they're both singers, they're both actors, they're both comedy girls. They're the sort of person that you'd send in to be like, you interview them.
Like any drag job you need doing, just send them in and then you know they'll be fine.
Ginger is so fucking like solid when it comes to just like the art of being a drag queen. You know what I mean? Like the look is always, they both have like very iconic looks and I just think that they love that shit.
Although we haven't seen Livoire in her red hair in 2 weeks now.
Oh my God, I'm missing it, babe. I've been having to get up in a red wig myself just to make myself feel something. And so, yeah, I imagine that. I think that Marmalade is so exquisite and I think that she's so brilliant, but I just wonder whether...
She's like a Gigi Good-esque.
Yeah, I think in terms of like what the judges want, they will always prioritise entertainment over looks.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I am fucking.
I mean, tell that to Crystal Versace.
Yeah, crystallized. What was her thing in the thing we was used to crack up on? No, Crystal Versace in her rap. She like had a line that we always used to say.
Remember.
Miss Versace came to party. Honestly, I would die that if I got on if I applied for Drag Race and got on, which would be a shock to all. If I was on Drag Race, I would love to just do like the most, rather than do like a real serious rap, just do like a list of very, very fast rapping of like the most cringe things that all these people say. Because it's
time to crown me, yes, bitch.
Yeah, literally like that, and just be like clicking and stuff the whole way through. Just like, honestly, unbelievable. Next up, we have Lil, Bobby Dazzler, Heaven, 10.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm giving it more than 10 if I can.
Okay, 11. And then we have Octavia serving Longfing, which
something in the gut yogurt ain't right.
Something in your microbiome's gone absolutely squiffy. Longfing, which is a play on long legs, but sounds more sort of like a delicious Asian
I was thinking more like Lancome.
Longfing. She's serving Swampette. What was your thoughts?
To me, she's serving more like mildew-ridden statue.
Bit of both.
Yeah. So, yeah, again, it's hard to say because it's not what I would imagine in my head for like Doctor Who, because I think of aliens and stuff. But again, like you can
Who are you, the
do
Doctor?
anything. Who?
I thought it was fun. I gave it 8, which is a step up from my 7s. Yeah, I just thought in terms of like the genre of it, stylistically, this is more my sort of thing.
Oh, it's probably my second to least favourite one.
Who was your least favourite?
Probably Our Girl is coming up next.
Next up,
I'll give Octavia like 6. The colour story wasn't really working for me.
Next up, we have our favourite. It's LA Voix. What are you saying?
You gotta milk those mutant milkers.
Haven't you? It sucks whilst you're shot. That makes truly no sense.
I mean, sure.
Was the face giving you a little sort of face painty? It's quite a strange.
It's
beat,
a bit kind of. I'm going to get fishnets and do a mermaid.
Yeah, it was a bit potato stampy.
I mean, the head thing's quite cool. It looks like she's got loads of sort of pussy tacos all over the helmet. But
why has she got such insane ripped abs?
I think it's a lot of work, like being out there, being a mutant, like running for your life, catching food.
It's just like 0% body fat, just like nothing but absolute ripped muscles and then literal stuck on titties.
And where do the tubes go? Is the milk's coming out of the tits and then what, just up the arse?
Ideally, yeah.
Just like
one-stop shop.
Like the circle line?
Yeah, human centipede like experience. Like you're just like, there's like sort of 60-day-old milkshake just churning through there.
Love it.
Yeah.
For me, this is like, again, a 6, I think.
Yeah, I gave this is my 5.
No offence, but it's a bit kind of fancy dress.
I have no idea what's going on. It was the face that threw me off. I just thought at least be refined in the face. But can I have a little look at the face actually? Yeah, woof. That glamour is quite crazy. That's giving quite Starlight Express vibes. Next up is the part that we in the show, where as professional celebrity hairstylists, we did a little thing called Zinger and a Minger, where we talk about what zinged for us in terms of hair and what minged for us in terms of the wiggetry of it all.
Does it brighten up your world? Is it a zinger? Does it make you want to help? Is it a minger? Zingers and mingers.
Oh, go on, Luke. Tell us what your zinger was this week.
Well, it was quite easy, as yet again, barely any wigs on the runway.
Yeah, they don't love a wig, do they?
So you say, ask me for my zinger or my minger, sorry.
There was once upon a time that if you're a wig company, it would be like, right, there's going to be the new girls are going in. It's like, right, you've got 15 to do this season. It's like now it's like, well, half of the runways they're not going to be wearing wigs, and then half of them they're going to be wearing straight human units. So it's like maybe you'll get three a season.
My zinger was Kyron's antenna.
Mine was Lil's comb over, obviously.
Lovely.
Repping for my peoples. Or I actually really liked Mama's wide how's your head curls as well.
Nice.
So they're fun.
And my minger was Octavia's pot noodles.
Mine was Aki T's swamp curls as well. Love you, Aki.
So the safe queens are Marmalado and Lilith.
Marmalade.
In the judges' critiques, you see Kyron again with the wide stance, just letting that bussy breathe.
You've got to. Because she don't want chub rub. Imagine chub rub and your cock's tucked up there.
Yeah, no, it's not that great.
No. And then we head into Untucked.
Sorry, did you notice that when Relisa comes back into the workroom, she's wearing heels?
What, and she wasn't on the runway?
Yeah, and then she's not in the lip sync.
Maybe, yeah, I did notice that in the lip sync. I thought, go. But, I mean, didn't do her any harm, did it?
Didn't.
When you walk, this is a direct quote from Lavoie. When you walked in bin bags, I thought, well, we'd never be friends. Okay, bitch. She is, clock the shade with old Lavoie. Like, she is dishing it out. Sometimes she says things that are just like, that's actually not very nice.
No.
And it's like, what? Because she was wearing bin bags. It's like, what? You wouldn't be friends with someone because they have a different drag? Like, baby, if that was everyone's rule that they weren't friends with someone that had a different drag, like, you'd be very lonely in that old drag room there.
Who would she be friends with?
She'd be friends with Mimi I'm First. Mm-hmm. She'd be friends with maybe Bianca Del Rio if Bianca was having a charitable day. Mm-hmm. And Kasha Davis, because there's always time for a cocktail.
There's always time for a cocktail.
Question, would you be friends with that group of girls?
I'd like to see what other tables were available.
I'm not going to tie myself down to any social
I'd do a full lap before deciding.
I thought Chanel's face in this untucked light. I'm going to put it on the list. Let's get a picture of Chanel's face.
I've already got a screenshot.
Have you?
So stunning. So soft. Airbrush.
And I wrote, literally, it's like in them 80s photos that you see in the salons. So gorgeous. And who knew that not under these lights, it was 7 sort of like gorgeous pink marshmallowy. Oh.
And then she had these really nice sort of like just like thicker parts of like the inner curve of the eyebrow that were just like just doing so much.
I saw
so
it.
little.
So little. She's just doing so much from just like such a weak canvas.
Well, no, all it is just like a tiny little line of purple, but it's just doing so much.
Yeah.
Gorgina. Onto the judges' deliberaciones.
Where's this?
Poor old Chanel. Imagine having that pre-mentioned gorgeous face likened to the sweet corn in the shit. Alan Carr.
Ever.
Regarding Relisa, Rue says she's been likened to Rihanna and she could have done something different, but she didn't. I mean, she definitely did. She was not playing Rihanna.
Well, I think regarding Relisa, she should have not done Rihanna.
Who would you have done if you were Relisa? Anyone else?
Literally.
Or just put
anyone that has a personality that's funny and interesting.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a diehard Rihanna fan. Listen, I'm no Maggie Wild Bartrop, but she is like I love her. But then there's just certain people you wouldn't do.
Or let's like be pregnant Rihanna and just be like give really nonchalant dancing or something.
I love Dita Von Teese. I wouldn't be like, oh, how can I make her funny? It's like if she's not funny, don't make her funny.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah. Crazy.
So
are you bursting for the toilet because you're really like sort of
always, but I like to keep that antsy energy.
But also,
up.
it kind of feels like when when girls wear tight jeans and it's rubbing on the puss, and if they just sort of like tilt back and forth. I'm looking at
Charlotte
you,
Vallis.
looking at you, Charlotte Helen Jane. Shout out! Drop us a message in the inbox if you're one of them girls that masturbates slowly on a pair of stiff jeans.
Yeah,
we just like
please.
to know. Yeah,
we've got some stats going on. We've got graphs and figures, so
and then maybe we'll talk about it in The Hangover.
Whoa! So we got our first double win of the season. I do feel bad for Chazza, but as
I would
Kiran
have really liked to chat. Neither Kyran or Lavoie needs it. I would have really liked Charity to just to get the much needed boost that she deserves.
I wouldn't be surprised if them two spin off and do a little tour together. They're proper like the odd couple, Kyran and Lavoie.
That would be odd. What are you seeing at a Kyran and Lavoie show?
Well, not necessarily them doing acts together, but just like they're like a double header.
Sure.
A double headliner.
Into it.
Because, they're really... a solid friendship is forming, isn't it? Much like Michael Maruli and Tamara Thomas.
Oh my God, who have got a fantastic podcast themselves. Don't listen to theirs over ours, but you should listen to it as well.
I mean, but if you've only got a certain amount of time, just stay with us and then subscribe to The Hangover.
We'll talk about it.
Let's talk about this bloody lip sync.
Okay.
What a fucking tune.
I thought both did really well. For this, but I did prefer Chanel.
You did prefer Chanel?
Yeah, I did.
Interesting.
I thought with this lip sync that it's hard. It's a hard song to lip sync to but it's a fucking banger. If you've got the right energy.
There's so many like little sections that you can like do different bits to.
Well, it's just a hard song because it's actually like if you're going to dance, it's hard to keep up with.
No one was doing any motorbiking.
No, it is. Well, that's the wrong.
What's that? Wake Me Up.
Wake me up, on you. It's a hard one to keep up with because it is just hell for leather from beginning to end. It is just bam, 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 bam.
Banger.
Yeah. But it's so good. Oh, something kind of ooh. Also, what a ridiculous song. Like, what does that mean? Something kind of ooh.
What's
Jumping
my
on tutu? Yeah.
Oh,
something inside of me makes my heart go boom, boom. So something inside of you makes your heart. It's probably your heart, babe.
It's probably the dick in you.
Absolute insanity from the GA girls there.
Quick side note. Do you and the listeners know that Kyran sometimes moonlights as Sarah from Gals Aloud, which also stars Drag Race UK alum Cheryl Hole and international bully Kitty Scott-Claus? Tom went to see them a while ago and said they were fucking great, actually.
Most importantly about that, do you know that when they used to do the Gals Aloud show, which was our deep friend of the pod, formerly known as Camille Toe, now known as Copper Top. Oh no, that's the Saturdays.
I was going to say, and what happened to the Saturdays?
Oh, we'll get on to them. But when we see Girls Aloud, it would be Ophelia Love, Kitty Scott-Claus, Cheryl Hole, Her the Queen, and who was our fifth one?
I can't even remember. I've never seen him.
Someone. And they used to bring out Tace, who would be Javine.
Lol.
How good. And she would do Touch My Fire.
Touch My Fire.
You could be the hottest, you could be the finest. It don't matter to me.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah. Absolute banger. But famously, as Jamelia said on Have I Got News For You, she's a slag.
She's a slag.
She fucked Harvey when
She's
Alicia
great.
Dixon. I mean, whatever.
Well,
got,
they're not just fucked; they ended up together.
yeah, whatever got my sweet angel Alicia Dixon away from the toxicity that was the fittest man in the world. That is Harvey from So Solid Crew.
Please.
Can I tell you, when Harvey was first introduced to me on what reality TV was it? Was it Big Brother? Oh no, that was Romeo that was on Big Brother.
I can't remember.
I think
Romeo went on Big Brother.
Yeah, Romeo from So Solid Crew. I think Harvey was on like sort of like the Winter Games or something. He was on like some big TV show, reality TV show, and I was like 11 at the time, and I was like, I'm gonna marry that man.
So you didn't notice him in So Solid when they got like had number ones and shit?
Yeah, but like they were all fit. Like I was like, this is a huge bunch of very
Ashley D, Romeo.
yeah. There's like so many fit ones. Then when specifically it was just like, oh, there's loads of like a couple of the Loose Women girls, and do you know what I mean, like Cher Lloyd or whoever was rolling up at that time. And then him, I was like, oh my god, he's maybe the most beautiful person I've ever seen. I was like obsessed with him.
Yeah, Harvey was my favourite as well.
Real detour there. But she would be Javine. How fucking jokes is that? Real, quite a pantheon of girls there. And most of them Drag Race. Well, oh no, that's not even half true.
Some of them Drag Race.
Handfuls. And what happened to the Saturdays?
What happened to the Saturdays?
Who was in the Saturdays? Tell the divas, tell the dolls.
Camille Toe, yes, as Barney said, Copper Top. Aidan Orange, Sophia Stardust.
Was Sophia Stardust in it? She was, wasn't she?
Yeah. And then two others that I can't remember.
Wow, imagine being the forgotten members of the Saturdays. Quite nasty.
I thought it showed what a great performer releaser is because
Was
her.
your friend of the pod, Ella Ride in
I think maybe
the
she
Saturdays at
moonlighted for one gig, maybe.
who was she?
I don't know. I don't even know
Who
who
was
the
the
real
lovely and
Saturday-
talented Una? That's who I'd want to be.
Yeah, Una's gorgeous. Una and
Who was Vanessa?
Vanessa's the most gorgeous
Oh my
one.
god, Vanessa is and such a beautiful voice.
Really?
I never ever got into the Saturdays like remotely. I didn't. Oh, they weren't even on my radar. I couldn't name you one song.
Remember when that girl like interrupted our DJing at Thingy's party to just put on a Saturday's mega mix, and she was kind of like, "Why is no one dancing?" It's like because no one knows these songs.
Because we're not fucking losers. But do you remember actually when she played that Megamix? I was like, I have heard this song before. There was at least one song. That I was
There's that like
It's like,
Do-do-do-do-do.
yeah. Don't hold back. That's all I know.
yeah, I thought it really showed what a good performer releaser is because the outfit she was wearing doesn't go with the song whatsoever. And normally, if you're wearing something that's off key of the song, like it doesn't work. But she was getting down dirty and just making it work. And
The reason why I preferred Chanel though is because I thought Releasa was doing the whole hookish spooky creature of the night, and I didn't want to see that for 4 minutes. She was just, that's all she was doing. She was doing some creepy arms and.
But you have to if you're
some
wearing that, you can't be
low
giving.
gravitational
Woo!
work.
I thought Chanel looked quite
But
restricted.
you could do what I would give it is I would give it some ooky spooky, I'd give it some creature, but then I'd be giving it more taste, memory, intensity. You can still direct. What she didn't do is direct any of it to the audience. It was all very insular, and I would have just connect. I didn't feel any connection from her.
I don't really feel much from Chanel. And if I see one more girl trying to pull off that Tayana Taylor move where you like banging on the floor, it's
Get off
like,
the floor, ladies.
like just because she can do it doesn't mean
Unless
you
you
should.
can go body wise, bar for bar with Tayana Taylor.
No
Unless you
human
can stand
can.
sideways. Unless you can stand sideways and go, yeah.
Absolutely gutted for my little baby Chanel though.
I'm devastated. I thought she'd be a legacy queen. I thought she'd be in it till the end.
I really enjoyed that she had that kind of extended leaving moment as well. It really like went on longer than just like a line, and good on the gal.
Yeah.
And when she threw the lipstick back behind her, I was like, oh my god, please smash the mirror or a light or something.
That was actually going to be my rose. That it's like that. She's a cunt until the end, isn't she? Just like being like, good luck cleaning that up, and then throwing the lipstick. It's like, oh my god, never in my wildest dreams could I be as much of a iconic bitch as this girl.
Sorry about it.
So if you haven't clocked it by now, Chanello, obsessed with you, love you. Can't wait to see what she does. I hope she gets the rabid fan base that she deserves, which I think she probably will.
I hope she gets a BAFTA.
Do you know what? Why stop there? I hope she gets an EGOT. I hope she's getting fisted in the eagle as we speak. All good things come to you, my love. Let's talk about the most important part of the show, which is called It's the Rose and Thorn.
The rose and thorn, the rise and the fall.
Let's talk the rose and thorns, babies. The roses and the thorns. My rose, which was just how much I love that she ended on a cunty note, because that's in her blood, baby. That's in her blood. it is now, my secondary one was, this is an ode to my highness, Lil. We very rarely on Drag Race get someone who's like, if you look at someone like Marmalade, she has exquisite eye for like historical costumes, for fashion, but we very rarely get someone who's like so weird and conceptual that they like completely think outside of the box.
Bimini-esque, you could say.
Like referentially, like Marmalade is like doing like really interesting, like beautifully crafted, constructed garments, which I love to see that. But then you get someone like Lil, who's like, you couldn't even fathom to guess what she's going to come up with.
No.
And I think that like, the House of Gorgeous, quite fab actually, thinking about it. Like,
You're from the House of Gorgeous, so how come you're so ugly?
Wow. Quite fab really, aren't they? When you think that they've got Lil, they've got Banksy, they've got fucking Dr. Gorgeous herself. Like, actually, they're a real bunch of lookers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Given the looks.
Movies on the
and I just
shakers.
love Lil, and I'm really glad that we've finally got her.
Yeah. My rose was just that gorgeous boy blush beat on Elvis. I honestly don't know how you look so cute.
I'd like to
and
see you
lovely.
come to work tomorrow with it on.
I don't know how. I honestly couldn't be that, like,
Soft.
yeah, I just honestly,
Feminine.
I don't know how.
Yeah. Let's talk the thorn. What was your thorn, babes?
My thorn was them giving Chanel the butte, if you will. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. And just for the last time,
Me purse just flew away on me gun. Chanel! A new Chanel.
gone but not
What a
forgotten.
moment in time. That fucking video. Mine was, I don't think I'm ever be able to get a hold of the drugs that Amanda Holden was on in the show. Just literally the whole time that she was a judge, she was just like sitting there just being like, rah, 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 rah. I was like, whatever the fuck she's taken, I need 3 doses of it. One anally,
She's on like bird
one
ketamine or
orally,
something.
one anally, and then just like to half and half up the nose. I
Yeah.
guess. But yeah, what a great episode. Another great episode. I saw someone saying on Twitter that I'm sure they say pretty much every season that they were like, I think this is the best season that we've had since season 2. And I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok saying that obviously 1 was 1, 2 was fantastic, and then
1
3
was, well, that was 1.
then 3 apparently is the perfect example of the curse of season 3, which I'd not heard of, and then we've been building
What's the
ourselves.
curse of season 3?
That it's shit, I guess.
Always 3, always shit.
Apparently, so I'd never heard of said curse.
Would you remember that with season 3 as well, that some like deep scolding hot tea that we were given is that after the success of season 2, they changed the casting team and they had a brand new casting team.
Why would you change it?
Yeah, after you've had such a perfect season. They had a brand new casting team that did season 3 and 4, and then they changed it back, which is when it got good again. That was Danny Beard season 5, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
who won
next
season 4?
time, huh?
Who was season 4?
Crystal was 3.
Yeah.
4 was Danny, 5 Ginger, 6 TBC.
Is this season 6?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think actually maybe they just did 1 season, because I feel like when it got back to Danny, they had changed it back over. Where was Justine in?
She was
Danny.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So next time, OMFG. The girlies are doing a Top of the Pops inspired musical featuring all of our homegrown pop divas, which has potential to be fucking amazing.
the greatest
The
thing
UK musicals normally are pretty good, to be fair.
Rat by Fever. What
Wow.
other musicals have we had?
Oh, I can't remember, but I've enjoyed them. I think.
Yeah, it is. I had a bifter and I sang along. So me. Right, well, I guess we'll speak to you next week then. We'll see you all, girls. As usual, you know what I'm about to say. If you want to support Quart, which is queer art, then we now have a lovely subscription program, which, first of all, if you know us and you're not subscribed, like, you can go fuck yourself if you think you get
Unfriend
a
us on
Christmas
all
gift.
platforms.
Well,
or just subscribe.
yeah.
And also, if you don't want to pay to hear any extra, that's also fine. But then the least you could do is just a little rating on your podcast provider.
And just like if you are someone that knows us personally and gets to like bask in the warm glow that is our personalities, just think like this weekend when you're hoovering up drugs, like hoovering up £60 of drugs off the toilet seat of somewhere in East London, be like, I could be supporting my friends with this money, but I'm not. Just let that. I don't know, just let that sink in.
Yeah, I'm
Just have a think about it.
participating in the deaths of hundreds of
Global citizens.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to be like judgmental about it, but just have a think about that.
drag name judgmental.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Okay, and we love you. And if you want to subscribe, which is just for the price of a coffee. Also, what could it be for the price of? Like a goldfish at a county fair.
I don't know. I don't know how much things are.
Or risers. Some rubber risers for your shoes if you're a short person.
Fine.
Like literally, it's like £3.50 or something. You can subscribe and you can support the girls and just let us know that what we're doing is really touching you.
If I was a listener, I definitely would have stopped listening by now.
Love you.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.